Welcome to Gestalt Poetry Open Mic for July 2023. It's great to see you all. Thank you so much for being here for an empowering afternoon of poetry with our featured poet today, Dr. Kate Jenkinson. Yay! Before we get started, I wanted to give you a heads up. Next month, our featured poet is Michael Sindler.
Yeah.
And so please stay tuned via my website, which is amyhoskins.com/writing. I'm checking to see if it's some folks in the waiting room. There, okay. All right. Kate is going to be in the middle of the open mic session today. If you want to be on the mic, just send me a message directly in the chat and I'll add you to the list. Also, please feel free to unmic after the poets have finished all their poems and just encourage the poet however you would like to cheer them. Let's see. And I look forward to hearing everyone's poetry. The first poet, we have several poets who need to go early. Alexandra Psaropoulous, and we can share screen.
Sorry, one moment.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. If you are looking for the supreme resurrection of a passion, try finding it in a vision's flare. Volcanoes lava erupting from Earth's womb. Battle cry, heroic exodus. Breaking all boundaries, achieving the impossible. Invisible and visible entities striving to rise above life and death. Above narrow values, widening narrow paradises. Wider and wider along the protean journey. Monad, dyad, antithesis, and new synthesis. From each center, expounding and fulfilling discovery and power. If you are looking for the finest quality of a creation, try finding it in a divine spark. Immortality's rays enlightening mortals' minds. Etheric castric bodies, everlasting vitality. Outgrowing every ugliness, guided by beauty. Thoughts, words, arts, giving birth to glorious civilizations. Challenging horizons, freeing from disillusions. Freer and freer along the expansion of Genesis. Logic, principles, discipline, and equals. Wisdom constructing justice, wholeness, and completion. If you are looking for the sweet manifestation of a miracle, try finding it in the human heart flame. Vibrations as rhymes, synchronizing with universe's euphony. Endless cycles of sorrow and joy. Hope's momentum waning and flaxing. Waterfalls of emotions plunging down the steep cliffs of our existence. Light brightening through darkness. Brighter and brighter along our sacred friendships. Seasons, leaves, flowers, and patterns. Warding off evil, regenerating, harmonizing, strength and immunity. If you are looking for the archetype of a deity, try finding it in the human soul flame. Earth's devotion, endlessly rotating sun's source. The great absolute energy, propeller of all life. Whirlpooling through humans and stars. seas of sunlight uniting with skies of fire, stellar symbols heightening cosmic chants. Higher and higher along the mystic path, water, earth, air, fire, and ideas, worlds and heavens dividing and uniting in divine proportions. If you are looking for the magical journey of a flight, try finding it in an inner euphoria, mystical self-revelations taking us up to empyrean worlds.
Oh, Amy, we can't hear you. Always gorgeous, Alexandra. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So spiritual, so ethereal. Your artwork is so moving, everything. Just brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Now, I forgot to post the fellow poets and everyone in the chat. So let me do that quickly. And I'll be adding some more in a moment. All right. Is Charlotte Robyn Faulconridge here?
Yes, that's me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry, were you saying it was my turn?
I'm so sorry. I'm so
I'm sorry,
sorry.
I thought you were saying hello. I'm really sorry.
No worries.
So I don't always get social cues. So no, I'm really sorry about that.
No worries.
There's a short sort of backstory to this, but it's quite a short poem, so I promise I won't overrun. But recently on a group that I was on, sort of before I even had a chance to speak, like someone was making assumptions about me just because of how old I was, just because I was sort of the youngest person there. And I've got a very thick skin, like nothing bothers me. But I was just a bit shocked that someone would be saying these things out loud in front of people. And then when I read my poem, they sort of discounted my pain because I was too young to experience anything. And it was just, yeah, I was a bit just bewitched, bothered and bewildered by the whole thing. Because I just thought I wouldn't dare judge someone so openly like that without knowing someone's backstory. So, and I'm a very positive person. So I thought I'll write a poem about it, about how you should try and understand people before you judge them by your first impression, because life isn't as easy as black and white sometimes. So this is what I wrote, and it's called Shadow Light. To cast a shadow in the dark, to dance in the embers of a dying star, to tear at my outworn mask, even the darkness has a heart. To see the world beyond the skies, to know the mind behind the eyes, to pierce the veil between black and white, the world bleeds out in shadow light. To ignore all the cracks and sin, to notice how the light gets in, to spot your tears in the rain. Together we'll water these rusted terrains. So paint me the colours of sky and roses. No more shall I dance in the lonely places. Teach me to speak with their voices. Show me the way, and I'll try again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here and sharing your perspective. And what a beautiful poem. Just the shadow light, even the darkness has a heart. I love that you're looking at the whole of everything in your poem.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And now Lucia Daramus.
Yes, I'm here, Lucia Daramus.
Yes, Daramus, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm here and
Dancing Voices Around My Head Along Cambridge by Lucia Daramus. Softly I'm starting my trip in the morning, washing my puzzled brain in the glittering drops of a late moon, listening to above Peterborough Cathedral, Pie Jesu, Pie Jesu, Pie Jesu, qui tollis peccata mundi, dona eis requiem, dona eis requiem, Pie Jesu, Pie Jesu, and the flying sky in souls of our humanity's womb. I'm asking about Spanish-English Queen, Catalina de Aragon, who is sleeping in purple eternity, in the gentle memory of English people. Catalina compartió el trono durante 24 años y gobernó el reino mientras su marido hacía la guerra en Francia. Catalina, Catalina, damp rainbow life of her husband, like a funeral suite's fantasy in the family's king. I'm stretching my fingers of praying to flapping dandelion, singing in humanity's perfect storm, and my steps are continuing to dance towards Cambridge, and voices, voices in wet air. She is a beautiful liar, she is an actor, she is an animal, she is a beautiful actor, an animal psychotic. My stomach is quivering on shimmering river calm, with soft willow trees caressing my face, and nostrils, my nostrils, smell above Trinity College's walls, Newton's volumes folio, and I hear the crickets' music in silence deep way of stones under Cambridge River, dancing voices around my head along this elegant city. We are now in front of the Corpus Clock, Bennett Street and Trampington Street. So many voices, like a carousel spinning and hearting my puzzled brain. Clock with voices, faces, eyes. You are an animal. You are an animal neurotic. Spinning with sweet and past information. Junctions between Magdalen College, St. John's College, Trinity College, King's College, Queen's College, along green, yellow, blue Cam River, with soft mud reflecting in the water, light of dream from George Santayana's poems. In my infinite labyrinth cerebrum, we are in front of the Corpus Clock, with voices penetrating my mind, and dark blurred vision, pain of my soul trembling, of my flesh, and sick of my stomach, and voices. I'm screaming loudly out, I'm yelling, I'm howling, shouting, crying, yelping, bawling, with my deep inner out on the street. A lady asking my sister, she's okay? My sister Gabriela talked to me. Calm down, Lucia, calm down. Is nobody talking about you? My voices are screaming. They said I'm an animal. Look, Lucia, look, a fresh rainbow above your head on the sky is smiling to you. My infinite labyrinth in my brain is spinning with voices along Cambridge streets. Lucia, remember your amazing conversation with the student studying paramedic science about Henry VIII, about wives, along Cam River. My labyrinth brain is spinning with so many voices. We are now near our car, sound of many words of the students' town, wonderful bright city, back inside the car, trembling harmonies of field of clouds, and the music muzzling my child's brain. Pie Gesù, Pie Gesù, Pie Gesù, qui tollis peccata mundi, dona eis requiem, dona eis requiem. Pie Gesù, Pie Gesù, Pie Gesù. Dancing voices around my head, a long translucid blue-green elegant Cambridge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so good. The imagery, someone said so atmospheric, the way you gave life to all of the voices, the atmosphere of the college town. You described it so well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is Lantern Carrier here? There you are. Yay.
Yes, I'm here. You'd like me to
Welcome.
go now?
Yes.
Okay. Homage to the light. She dries the copious tears spilling from my broken dreams, the heaviness of loneliness, the stains of deep remorse. Gently she pats the roses covering the scars where thorns once sat, enmeshed in a foliage of desires. You've done well, she whispers. The light that shines within has erased the darkness of a shadowed past. Arise, my sweet, sweet angel. The brute of past regrets shall no more shine. The fragrance of the dawn is gleaming. I felt my shoulders breathe. My heart cried tears of joy, the soul now laughing with the sun. She kissed my wounds, no more the toil of suffering and despair, for I was born anew. The voice of freedom sang to me, her bird of hope now perching on my newfound dreams of love divine, my lack of expectations. I bowed, paid homage to the light, paid homage to the light. One more. Let's find it. I am the lover, loving, and the loved. You may not see me, but you can see the autumnal leaves cascading with the breeze, a rose pink of magenta hue dancing with the willows. Hand in hand we walk as my blushes hug your heart, a young señorita muy hermosa, a beautiful woman engrossed in human love, watching the crimson sunset glow as you both kiss and caress the prime of youth upon the fading hills and shimmering light of Dillsburg. You may not feel me, but you will know the quickening of your pulse, the rise and fall of your sacred breath as your chest heaves, lying beneath the nutmeg trees where we once encountered, stars twinkling from the heavens, even as the moon danced in indigo blue. You may not hear me, but can you not listen to the rustling streams, the waltz of the meadows, each flower yielding to the sound of zephyrs? For they, too, tell my story, even as the majesty of the Iguazu Falls adorns its stateliness like dazzling white deities at the feet of Mother Gaia. You may not see me, but I'm the silhouette that lie beside you on long, lonely nights, the same one that sends you flowers of solace or soft teddy bears and pillows to emit smiles and tenderness when remorse hugs your emotions like a vice and your soul cries with longing. I am in the daffodils of spring and the winter clematis, the bouquet of tulips that will make your heart throb and spill tears of joy. I am the radiant sun that nourishes the earth to provide plenitude, and I whisper to the darkness of an abyss that will hurt you if I do not intervene. What you see as a miracle is me carrying you on my shoulders. For what good parents will not offer their all to a lost prodigal, having journeyed in earnest to eventually find her way home? You are here to learn, my sweet angel, and trials are necessary for growth. The next time that you succumb to the allure of alcohol and other addictions, remember that I'm there too, equally in your joys as your sorrows, and the leisurely taste of the last cafe Arabica that you sipped, sitting alone in an Italian cuisine. For I am you, and you are me, the spinal light and the spark of its effulgence, sojourning to rediscover its true home. I am the lover, loving, and the loved, for we are one. London Carrier, thank you.
Gorgeous, gorgeous language and spirit.
Thank you.
Always a beautiful journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Now we have Susanne West.
Thank you. It's very beautiful so far. Oh, well, I'll get by with these glasses. This first one is called Hot Holes. Every time I open her front door, I listen toward her bedroom with hope and fear. Moans, groans, whimpers, silence. I so want to feel the divine, trust the divine. I take a step. Is a nest of death being prepared in the form of the great mother, my mother, leaving? Hot coals, no choice. Whoops. The dreaded iPhone ring. Let me get back to this. Is a nest of death being prepared? Is this form of the great mother, my mother, leaving? Hot coals, no choice but to walk them. I'm sure I can't. Wisdom whispers, you are being held. My strategies dissolve. Blessings arrive just when it seems impossible. There is only now, and it is okay. I move forward. We're both in the mystery. We're both on hot coals. This is what I know. It is okay. And then being will have its way. The tumor's malignant, Mom, my daughter tells me. I'm thrust awake, a shattering of my old world, a knowing this is the next fire, a knowing this changes everything again, a knowing you will be a howling tantrum, you will be dignity itself. You will let the kids rub your bald head. You will bejewel yourself with scarves. You will be tired. You will be sick. You will feel helpless, and you will surrender to what is. A knowing, the soft light that glows through you no matter what, will uplift us all, will carry us all. A knowing, being will have its way. Thank you.
Beautiful. Again, a lovely journey, and the depth of your experience and the way that you've expressed it was just wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing them. Now we have Therese Craine Bertsch.
It's just been wonderful, wonderful poetry. I hope I'm not duplicating, but I have two little offerings. And one is called Lace Curtain. Beyond the still light, still comes light, entices. Resistance of the will light still comes, fecund in silence. And this poem is in response to, let's see, Mabonisi, Zamkunto, who said that someone asked him in an interview about finding a love. He said, so simply, very full of hope, I will not find on this planet my true love. And I thought that it was such a powerful, strong statement. It was not one of loss. So it inspired me to write this poem, Alive. Grace, yes, grace breaks through, as you say. I will not find on this planet this time a place, one true love who awaits. Your words carry the wrenching of a grief-stricken heart, as apart from love you seek relief. Yes, you know, this is true. Our belief that we are one, feeling the grace of living as two in this space, as something new awaits. A transparent smile across your face erases measured responses to the questions emerging as we are submerging in the creations that bud like flowers. From our intuitions and imaginations, we search for ourselves with no need to be alarmed, to be disarmed by love. Moving to give voice to all you have carried in life, not delve unnecessarily, co-creation blooming in this time as we find our completion in love. That is her name, represented in a flame and a dove, a burning bush, our treasure trove. Love, love is her name. Thank you.
Thank you. Those were wonderful. I love the way your language flows in with your imagery, the way you've woven everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is Richard Spisak here? No? Okay.
Richard is sick.
Oh no. I'm
Yeah,
so
I
sorry
heard
to hear that.
he's unwell at the moment.
Yeah, he's not well at all.
It's very unwell. We're all praying for him.
I didn't know. I will be in touch if that's okay. Oh wow. Okay. Next we have Ian Preznansky.
Hello, hi. God, it's been ages. I've been mad busy with loads of stuff. So yeah, picked up a pen again for the first time this week. Right, I've got two for you. Sorry, my screen is just doing all sorts of funny things. I've got this new version of Windows. Right, here we go. Right, this is really about digital division, internet, that kind of thing. Parallels with your own struggles, but in the background, there's always something else. It's untitled. So we have retreated into society's mazes, quiet suffering betrayed on transfixed faces, damaged, our minds are grazed, though ignorance is bliss, we walk unfazed, footsteps tap, Our minds are running phrases as we walk with hollow ghost-like faces, yet we crave escape, running with our minds. We think of beaches in faraway places, altering our reality of the fielder, killing our mind in digital palaces, artificially content, just hamsters stuck on the wheel, chasing dreams in capitalist races. We are cracking at the seams and barely placated, sightless stares for our workspaces. Our souls have long since vacated. For we are all passengers on the superhighway of introverted perception. It calls, seducing like a siren, just another digital illusion. Rippling earthquakes in the soul, smacked by mental Poseidon. Just a fallacy of embraces with vices of opinion. A warped organism of 8 billion. Our minds twisted like Napoleon. Politicians preaching hate and division, true social, fuck you. I say it with a rhyme and a rhythm. Left and right, steered by an algorithm. They fight all day and night. Upper own arses with opinion, slaves to buzzwords and means. I say it again, just more battle lines, stoking division. Ego shout, look, this is me. What a price we pay for irony, yet all the same it's deception, altering our perception of reality. We are blinded, we cannot see, stuck in the web, a digital travesty, bleeding fist, smashed through a window of hate, dripping with the blood of harmony. Walking again in a shadow of ghosts, trauma calls and my mind's running races. In my mind, there's no solidarity. Once again, I'm angry. My soul's shedding its graces. I'm back in my mental chastity. I'm strolling heavily, swinging my shoulders. The devil's back, my abstract deity. Yet my soul's scar, once again, ripples its traces. From within, 100 scary faces. Ride the therapy of CBT, another voice saying, the problem is me. A debt from the devil's wages, but CBT for me, fuck that, that's a fallacy. I was 13 years old, my GP said, I'm a victim of society. I've defeated my abstract deity, yet again it keeps you humble, showing me that in the moment of pain and anxiety, all of us in divided society may shame strong in love's solidarity. Right, that's one. One more really short one. Right, this is it okay to do one more? It's very quick. Okay, right, I'm just going to grab it here. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. I've done this before a few times. This is just one about love. The sun sits low, resonating its gentle glow. Smiling trees shine through autumn embers. Two souls fuse, manifest in footsteps. As boots glide through bronze leaves, ambling contentedly in perfect synchronicity. They erupt in blissful flutters as love breathes, quiet whispers. Weaving words interlock with passion, they dance in the breeze with affection. Tonight again, nature sleeps, while souls share dreams, for their love is deep. Thank you. That's it for me.
Wow. Incredibly clever rhymes and alliteration, and I'm trying to think of the word, but the way that you transformed your vision of consumerism and the way culture's been kind of dumbed down for a long time. Just brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is Mark Betolutti here? No?
Hello, that's me.
Oh, there you are. Welcome.
Thank you. I didn't know I was on the wrong show. I'm on the right show. I've been doing this for a long while, and it's good to be here. Thank you.
Good to have you. Thank you.
First, some of you look familiar, so you probably heard this before. But if you did, I hope you enjoy hearing it again. My name is Mark Bertolutti. I'm a drummer in a rock and roll band, and I write lyrical poetry, and I sing too. But this one's called Deep in Thought. Deep in thought I rot with all the poverty and homelessness in the world, with all the poetry and loneliness one could have deserved, with all the wars and those government chores. What do we have in our future? What do we have in store? Yeah. We've all made mistakes in the past. Life pushes us hard and fast. Though I've never been that far off track, so as you go, Now you know, dreams do come true. You just have to do what you do. Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna go to the limb, and I haven't really. This is called angst. RCMP wanted to incarcerate me. Doctors wanted to commit me. My peers wanted to humiliate me. My fears wanted to annihilate me. What the hell is going on, man? We are guilty before being presumed innocent. I don't know if you understand what you've done to woman and a man. The system has failed. It's been said before, and nothing has been done. We still live for those whores that leech off everyone. I had my moments in the sun, and what can I say? I had my fun. Now it's time to get serious. Then I'm done. I play your game, though not anymore. Only God knows what you have in store. You can lie behind those eyes. All I can see is your demise. My father's sadness is nothing compared to my madness. Like a pawn in chess, I lay my angst to rest. Oh, okay. This one's called Magic Wand. Wonderful woman, lovely lady, come a little closer and drive me crazy. You must know I spent a lot of time with this vision in my mind of one day you being there, so someday I can call you mine. We're like a puzzle and the pieces are ready to bond closer together now and forever with your touch, your magic wand. If I could be granted just one wish from behind my next closed door, all I would want to wish for is one day not having to say someday anymore. Wonderful woman, lovely lady, come a little closer and take me away. Like a puzzle so complete with pieces that bond so strong. Closer together now and forever with your touch, your magic wand. Can I do a couple more? One more? Okay, let's see here. Okay, this is called Natural Disaster. Man is not immortal. It comes as no surprise. His judgment is crucial in his own demise. Wars within countries, we are all sure to fall. Aftermath no one sees. Twisted buildings and crumbled walls. Polluted skies, heavens above. Acid rain turns melt to rust. This land we once loved, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It's too late for sympathy. Damage has been done. Are we prisoners of society? God bless each and every one. In this world in which we live, you can throw your principles out the door. Mankind forgets. Make love, not war. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I love your rhyme forms and your reality and your openness. It was just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for our feature poet, Dr. Kate Jenkinson. I want to introduce you. Dr. Kate Jenkinson is a scientist and poet reconciled and is one of a handful of LinkedIn business poets. She likes hats, writes about the many ones she wears, mother, daughter, friend, coach, entrepreneur, and she enjoys performing at open mics and slams since the pandemic made the poetry community more accessible. In 2022, she performed her TEDx talk, Poetry Never Abandons Us, and she enjoys attending and headlining events internationally. Her work can be found in iFlash, Good Dadhood, Steel Jackdaw, Flight of the Dragonfly, and Feral, their first mother-daughter poetry and art collaboration. Kate recently realized she was neurodivergent, so this and her aphantasia is a feature of her recent work. And I have some links of hers. If that's okay, I'd like to add those.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Amy.
Welcome. Welcome.
What a wonderful space you create for poets. And the first half open mic has been amazing. I can't wait to hear the second half, but you'll have to put up with me for a few minutes before we get there. So I chose a theme. I like to theme my sets. I'm not asked to, but I decided to do friends and community. And the TEDx talk that I did had a spoken word piece at the very end, just to make sure you get through all the prose bits. And this is from that. When you lose someone who means the world to you, age 5, you never forget them. You keep something of them alive. Grandpa, you made me feel like the center of your world, teaching me to recite the first poem I ever encountered. Your love of words lives in me. I'm never alone with poetry. You'll have to listen to the TEDx talk to hear the rest of it. So this set is a little bit chronological, so there's some earlier stuff going on here, and when it changes to a bit later, I'll probably change hats so you get to see visually when I'm changing, because I'm not going to introduce the poems, I'm going to let them speak for themselves. This one's called Double Dutch. Our peers made it clear we didn't belong. The words that we used were too long. The way that we dressed was fashionless. The clothes we were given were plain wrong. The phrases we made up were pretentious, and contentiously we didn't exchange this for acceptable phrases to say what we meant. Instead, we discovered more incongruent ways to be present, with no malicious intent, but to honour ourselves and our difference. We spoke double Dutch. They couldn't understand much, nattering about nonsense as if it mattered, making new nothingness to soothe the gaping wounds of bullying and indifference. I took the pen after Tony Walsh. I took the pen when I was young. People snubbed my geeky traits because words became my friends, so many of them. Never-ending ways to say, I'm here for you. I retreated into poetry, but now my two passions combine. I write my love for people in every line. Be kind. A prose poem, A Pocket in Time. There's content warning for suicide and paternal neglect. Our friendship was a pocket in time from age 9 to 16. My pockets were deep and unfillable. Yours were deep and full of holes. We needed the same things, love and belonging. We filled each other's needs. It was a potent, imperfect match. You poured out passion, emotion, and opinion, and I was full, my self-esteem intact, only when I was with you. And I was always with you. Whereas my love fell constantly through the holes of your self-doubt, a persistent, gentle shower heading always to the drain. I wanted to save you, rescue you. I sewed up all the holes in your pockets. I mended your hurt, but your pain became trapped and it was never released. As you grew, you found friends who soothed and admired you in different ways, filling other needs that I couldn't, and I did the same. Why it was I who felt betrayed, I don't know. Neither of us betrayed the other. That crime was committed by our fathers long ago. Years of neglect for me, and your innocence was stripped clean away before you could choose your fate. Our mothers had to live with the consequences. Their choices became our lives. We were close, inextricably connected, a self-fulfilling pocket in time. Together, we made sense of this wilderness. Rendezvous at 10:30 p.m. Bring significant items preserved in a plastic bag, a photo of us, a Lego figurine, 14.5p, a scribbled note clutched in my pocket. The place, the corner oak tree with its gnarled bark, the one that concealed notes under its skin and that watched us play frisbee and rounders by day. My torch lit the tarmac, broken glass glinting back the dangers of night. Our 11-year-old memories buried under the townfield's turf. Our secret delicious, savoured each night, pieces of us that no one could touch. Safe, and then forgotten. Our paths diverged. We lived separate adult lives, compartmentalized to keep us safe. I heard you died by suicide. I remember our shared buried memories and wish for life's significance to be purely these: Lego, pennies, and a photo of you and me. I put down my pen, fold this note in my pocket, and then bury it under the corner oak tree. Poetry pen pals after Sylvia Plath's poem, You're Like. You are the horse running, muscles rippling. I am the thudding hooves of well-trod turf. Your movement like gold dust in sunbeams. I am the wooden curtain rings sliding on the pole. You are the gently wafting curtain at the open window. I am the young boy's whistle in the street below. You are the milk van floating on the road. I am the rattle clink of empty cratered bottles. You are the vast beauty of the arched rainbow. I am the hushed breath of awe from the weary workers. You are the kaleidoscope mirrors with colours shifting constantly. I am the crunch, crack, turn as the beads resist the twisting. Synergy. My smile is a simile for our friendship. One syllable multiplied to 3. Your kindness multiplies me. This is a sestina. Strap in. I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. I wonder why I have no friends. I wish I had stayed in touch. I wish you were still here. I wonder at all the letters I never sent. SOS messages bobbing, lost at sea. I think of all the time I wasted. I think of all the love I wasted. There are many different kinds of friend. My heart is driftwood in the sea. We cannot hug if we fear to touch. I miss you now you're absent. Your voice is the one thing I long to hear. Your absence casts a shadow here. I think of all the joy I wasted. Your flowers pressed have no scent. Solitude can sometimes be a friend. Your old letters smell of your touch. I may long for you, but will never see. As I often look wistfully out to sea, it's when I notice most you are not here. Our hands in each other's warm in touch. Our friendship was never wasted. I didn't know what made you a special friend. I never thought beyond the present. I wish your goodbyes were never sent. Broken apart by things I couldn't see. I have no one else to call my friend. Recalling conversations I no longer hear. I think of all the hope I wasted. I miss your closeness and your touch. Time twists away as I strain to touch your memories. Their melancholy scent reminds me of the life I've wasted, watching footprints washed away by sea, leaving me stranded always alone here. And all I wanted was you, my friend. Could I have stayed in touch? I was no friend to you. I see now how much effort you wasted trying to be present for me, to be here, to be loved. When I spend a weekend with my friend, we untangle knots. We find each other at the end of blind alleys, turn on the light of introspection and guide each other to new pathways. We notice all the heaviness, weighting each other's words, and find the helium balloon of the moment and tie the thoughts to each string, then let them do their thing. We experience history and artifact. We drink tea and have a laugh. We talk for hours and seconds pass. We sit with knowing and not knowing, holding both with kid gloves. We share the many hats we wear, the meanings we make and are making. We hope for things for people that make them well. We wonder at the craziness of it all. We drink more tea and quiet falls. We sit in each other's presence and it feels like we've always been together, but only in this moment finding words that weave into blankets that soothe the hurts, and we keep worrying at those knots together with a gentle curiosity that inquiry will find a way to free the tangles that have defined you and me, until we make the strands of our identities clear and bold and opinion free, the loss and love and hollowness in every fibre of our being, alone we had no way of seeing. But the microscope of our friendship does. It shifts and sorts and helps us both. When I spend a weekend with my friend. Not that this is my favourite hat or anything, but hey. Like a child arriving too late for the last puppet show, having a helium balloon accidentally let go, the ice cream melt all over your best clothes. My disappointment is stripped naked, humiliated, and separation anxiety overloads me as I scream into a sticky, melting mess. That's high-functioning anxiety with a highly sensitive personality, manifesting in its magnificent Sunday best. It's empathy on steroids, every emotion amplified so that nerve endings are permanently fried, blending all my fears. And it's tiredness on top of tired. These layers are a cushioned comfort that quilts my guilt with permanent pincushion anxiety, always feeling like a misfit. Hiding in the library where no bullies dared to tread. That's how books became my friends instead, and words became my sword, and vocabulary my self-defense. Swearing in multiple syllables resulted in multiple bruises, but also had its other uses. Wordplay was my spur, reverberating throughout my life. Have you swallowed a dictionary? This memory reminds me to catch my words in my breath and put my voice away until finding the safety of the never-ending ripples of this spoken word community, a sun-dappled leafy sanctuary where we can always be seen and heard. And my last poem is a univocalic poem, and it's been reimagined for the spoken word community. It's called My Kind. My misfit mind is misfiring, fist fighting my will. I'm hiding my light within. I'm wilting, shrinking. I hit my limit. This invisibility is risky. I'm missing my kind. My shift is finishing, city lights dwindling, whilst tiny twig-sitting bird shrill singing is stilling, filling this sky with inky night. It's fish, it's chips, it's frying night's lip-licking dish, it's chippy night. I sink in bliss. My spirit stirring, instinct twitching, it's twilight, it's in this dimly lit night I find my kind, rightly, by visiting this mic nightly, simply drinking in this sight, My kind think in ink, dripping, drip, drip, dripping, lilting in sight. My kind's writing is rhyming. It's this timing which is thrilling, this rhythm which is giving my living mind-tripping chills, rib-tickling, giggling, chilling with my kind is idyllic. It is illicit highs spiking in my lyric liking mind. I fit in with my kind. Hiding in this inky night with my kind, I'm living high, mimicking, lip syncing, mighty might killing skills. I'm fitting right in. This is invincibility. This is visibility. This is living with my kind. It's this which lifts my spirits, skittling pins, striking it right, hitting this high, thriving iris bright. Till lightning, striking midnight. This chiming highlights its finishing, finishing. Light splits pink sky, spilling in, kissing skin, stirring rising minds, shining kindly, blinking. My night's flight still vivid in my mind. Still, I'm still fitting in. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. What a brilliant set. Everyone, please unmic.
Oh, Kate, man, that last
Yes.
bit, wow. Kate, Kate, I want to play that to my dad. That last one, that slow, slidey rhythm you got there. Is this going to be recorded, Amy?
It is being recorded.
Yeah, oh, a nice one. Yeah, okay, I want to play that to my dad. Yeah, it's wicked.
Well done.
Well done.
Super,
Okay.
Kate.
Oh my God.
Thank you. And if any of you felt that I was referring to you in the happier friendship poems, you're absolutely right. I was. I love you all and I mean it. Thank you.
We love
Love you,
you.
Kate. Thank you, Kate.
Ditto, Kate. Love you too.
Yeah, man. Big loves. You were incredible, mate. That was
Thank
brilliant.
you. And I've got loads more hats to be going at, so you know.
Please share.
Headset changes.
Oh,
Thanks.
just brilliant, Kate. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amy.
You're so
Bonded.
welcome. Just brilliant. And let's see next. So you said your mom did need to sign off, right?
So sadly, my mum was going to come and do a first spoken word opening night performance tonight, but she's not very well, so she's not here now. So
I'm so sorry.
I know,
I was
it's okay.
looking forward to that. Hope she feels better.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome. Is Ian McKenzie here? Oh, okay. Ashley Edge.
Evening or morning? I'm on morning time.
Morning. Evening.
Yeah, it's making me dizzy. I'm in England, but I'm pretending it's morning. So, yeah. Hi, everybody. If I've not met you before, it's so lovely to meet you. And I can see loads of faces I already know. So, yeah, missed you all since 2 days ago or a day ago. Oh, God, I've really lost track, haven't I? Yeah, I've got 2 medium-sized ones. I think I've got time for both. So, I need to celebrate the football, the soccer, especially around Americans because it's women and you're good at it. So you might actually recognise what's going on right now for you all. Yeah, I've added some tweaks though. I hope you like it. Watch and pray. See the modern dance on the holy water turf, the yells and the pacing of the track-suited coach, the oomph of the ball as it leaves a player's foot, praise for the keeper as she leaps like she's winged, joyous in the crowd as in unison we sing. This heart pumps with football, calcio soccer, football, tiki-taka, gegenpress, Serena ball or park the bus, the chips and the flicks, back passes, headers, goals from playmakers, strikers, full-blacks, last-minute scrambles, off-the-line clearances, match of the day fanfare, Chris Kamara gaffes, transfer speculations and youthful revelations, Insane sums for unknown journeymen. It's red versus blue, king versus country, dreams coming true when a team knows how to dance. Time for the weekend ritual of praying to a ball. Armchair is our prayer mat where we cry, cheer, jeer, living for the derby, the championship flights, cup winning nights and relegation plights. We keep our faith, win, lose or draw. Okay, so I've satisfied the soccer itch. So I actually want to do one that follows Kate's theme, and it's one that I've never performed. I did perform it, I recorded it and won a, well, it's got shortlisted for National Poetry Day a few years ago, but it doesn't have, I want to share it with you all because you guys are the reason I never read this, because I don't need to read it anymore. Autistic sensibilities. So it seems we're all unique, so I'm told, so I was raised. So my quirkiness shouldn't matter, but it does. Chatter itches, ears can't focus as the prattle, the noise is now just me. Inappropriate interruptions, I cannot still this tongue until I release my words. I can't read your face, it's a blindness, you see. The lights hurt, too much movement in my periphery. Anxiety builds, an active volcano. Lava spurts, burns, scalds those around me. Now I see, I was never rude or invasive or mean. I'm autistic, so please dim the lights and forgive my formal tone. I'm not patronizing you. I'm trying to be your friend. So yeah, because you're all of my friends, innit? If you didn't get the obvious reference there. So, I probably won't ever read that again. So yeah, once in a lifetime. And it's lovely to meet you if I haven't met you before, especially you, Amy.
Thank you. It's good to meet you too. I love
I love that,
poems.
Ashley. Can I just say that last poem, although you say you won't read it again, it could really resonate with other people. So, you know, don't put it away forever.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
I agree. I could relate to a fair bit of that, to be fair. And I don't think you should, to be honest.
Okay.
But, you know, but
I'm
it's
glad to
your
share it
work and, you know, but that's just what it evokes in me.
I think it's because I don't feel those emotions anymore. So it feels weird to read it out. Do you know what I mean? Because you guys did, I cried out and I did that. And then since then, do you know what I mean? We're 4 years later and look at where I am. So.
Yeah, I mean, I look at certain things indifferently when I look back, and then, you know, but at the time, sometimes I don't know, you know, but that's just me. I'm not going to stop putting agendas there.
So
maybe I'll try it again then. If you
Ashley,
guys want
look
to
in
hear
the
it again.
comments. It resonates with other people.
I will read the
your
comments.
experiences, it gives hope to other people. So I love that you read that. Thank you.
Just for you, mate. Maybe I will bring it out again then if it's going to help other people, because you know that's what I'm all about. That's what I live for.
Nice one.
So
Thank
I'm going to
you.
shut up now because there's other people to read.
Oh, you're fine. But your rhythm and your pace and your words, so well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Christine Dickinson. Welcome. Oh, you're muted. One more. There you go.
I clicked it, but not hard enough. Obviously, I was still feeling bound up in what Ashley was saying. Is there time for two? I've got one. Thank you. I was thinking about friendship. The sum of their parts. My mother says there is the one downside to living here. We are all getting on, and so we are. Her flat is in a block for senior folks. They've lost their share of ghosts. Small talk is about pills, the ticking clock. Life goes on both sides of the closing doors. Church friends pray for Barbara, track the stink to high heaven from a salmon meal stored in her fridge. Damp clings to the spider's nets drawn across the windscreen of her green Fiat. Her friend, our mum, gets on with Charles. They talk, share their passion for thoroughbreds, that pride. He had a stroke, missed her 90th. There's no relative to watch his last race, hold a cup, bend an ear to his right side. With 2 allies, he'd venture out most days, scout the town for drinks and lunch, relay news at tea, stored tales like treats to raise a laugh. His mates sit down to think before they eat. We want his grin, his cheeky views, that wink. I walk in and out and expect to miss this trio, their larks in the afternoon, the clip of Barbara's heels, that spark, a pacemaker restored to my mother, the promise Charles made to take her out to lunch, his kiss. Thank you. All gone. This is another one about loss, really. Friendship's all about gains and losses, isn't it? Shaping up. Strange how some days fall into shape, the slide of jersey silk, the caress of supple leather, the warmth of a second skin. In Rome, I rested elbows on a counter, unfurling my hand for an Italian. She loved her work, fitting the gift of yellow gloves, palms stroking down smooth to the wrist, close as a promise, snug as a ring. Such instant slip, the V of each finger fold, constant leaks, becalmed in memory. In images of last time's ripple our dreams, a smile, certain songs, the hats worn for fun. We miss our people when they leave a room, as if readying ourselves for normality to end. I want the words to stay the time, the skill to be present, hold the hour. How can a moment measure up enough to take the inadequate day for granted, give pause as easily as a remote control? Throughout the routine days, I ask if some habit will remain a task when the next change comes. We are lost, speculating the waste in the past. Our friends are calling, willing us to move on. Thank you.
Thank you. So wonderfully inspirational, and the loss that we all are facing, even at this age, that it begins, and thank you so much. I'm out of words. Would anyone else like to say anything?
I always love hearing Chris. Just feel everything that you say. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Me too. You have a way of finding words for things that the rest of us ache for. It's just gorgeous. Thank you so much.
I've been so moved with what I've heard. So thank you.
Thank you.
You know, that's what it is, isn't it? Thank you, though. I love that.
Wonderful. Now we have Clive Oseman.
Hello. I'm here for something completely different, as I always say. Right, I'm going to do a short piece of flash fiction, which some of you will have heard. It's only 100 words, and then one of my poems. So the flash fiction first. And when I'm doing flash fiction, I still try to be a little bit off the wall, a bit crazy, because that's me. So this is called no, it's not called that at all. It's called Holiday. The worst holiday I ever had was something of a mixed blessing. I admit I was having trouble in the bedroom and thought a nice, relaxing holiday would be revitalizing. I needed to be thousands of miles away from the stresses of my life, so I chose North America. One place in the brochure took my eye and my mind was made up. I booked the flight and was off to what sounded like the perfect place under the circumstances. How was I to know Viagra Falls was a misprint? I was bored stiff. Something in the water, I guess. So that's that. Right, the poem, if you want to call it the poem. This is based on, it is. I live in a block of flats. I'm on the ground floor. One of the flats recently was for sale. Who on earth in their right mind would buy one of these is another matter, but especially with some of the neighbours they would end up with. No names, but yeah. So there was a board right outside my window, a estate agent's board. I've got to describe it to you so that you know where I'm coming from. It was like a green board, and the estate agent was called Charles Harding. So the green board just said Charles Harding for sale, and then there was a phone number. So I sent an email. I saw your advert today offering Charles Harding up for sale. Although I have no use for him myself, I think he may make a good birthday present at the right price. My first question is, of course, how much are you asking for him? I will not expect the price to be much over 50 quid unless he can play football. People called Charles are 10 a penny unless they come with a crown and golden ears, and I'm guessing this one doesn't, as you seem pretty desperate to sell him in Swindon. Why are you selling him? Does he come with a warranty? I once bought someone advertised on the board in this manner, and he malfunctioned within a week. He started reading The Sun and watching Nigel Farage on television. The seller refused to take him back, as they said the brain was not included in the guarantee. I dumped him in the canal in the end, the biggest waste of a tenner I've ever been stupid enough to agree to. But I did get a wet but otherwise working shopping trolley in exchange. My next door neighbour once got a decent one in an auction, and my brother got a handyman by the rather charming name of Purple Bricks. He brightened up the area. I do hope it's not the Charles Harding I went to school with. He was a right little shit, and would almost certainly sell my prized collection of celebrity toenail clippings in order to buy sherbet dip. I do believe my Marilyn Monroe clippings are the last surviving ones, and I would be heartbroken to lose them. If I decide to buy him, and he does need some sherbet dip, he can sell my sample of Morris's nasal hair, but that is all. Please respond to this email with the following information: your asking price, whether the price is negotiable, and if you will expect any of the profits if I sell him for £30 million to play for Manchester City's third team. Does he come with a full service history? I don't care if his big end has gone, but I expect the rest to be well maintained. Does he have dandruff? I once bought one with dandruff and stupidly paid an extra tenner for miscellaneous extras. What a rip-off. Finally, I want to know why you are so desperate to sell him. Are you in financial difficulty, or is he trouble? Don't lie about the financial difficulties if that's the case. I will get my accountant to check. If you lie to me, she will throw her abacus at you with great force and forcibly take a clipping of your toenails on the off chance you ever hit the big time. She likes sniffing them when they are fresh. I store them in the fridge next to the cheese. Please reply by 8 p.m. yesterday if you know what's good for you. P.S. Would you accept my goldfish in part exchange? He died yesterday, but is in otherwise excellent condition. Thank you very much.
Tears, Clive, real tears. Like, so good, so funny. Thank you.
Thank you. I love sending those emails. I never get an answer though, that's the problem. Or rarely get an answer anyway.
I wonder why. They're brilliant. Thank you. Is Christopher George here? Christopher George? No?
He doesn't seem to be.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Finn Hall.
I don't seem to be here either.
Oh, no.
I'm going to do a couple of totally different, as I promised to do. Nothing really to do with friendships, or the last one might be. This one, I've only read it once, and it was, I think it was a Spofest Zoom thing. And to write a poem on the theme Shadow for a Day. This is mine. I lurk, hidden beneath your feet, unseen, hiding in the bright sunlight, hiding in the dark. I live in the in-between world, a half-light in the half-light, watching your every move. I see approaching another shadow, hanging on a mysterious body. The angle is wrong to see their faces. I see a shadow, though, a shadow of a hand that moves swiftly. They stand on me. I feel no pain. I hear your muffled scream. Red, deep red flows into my blackness. I shouldn't be here. This was only temporary. This was just for a day to see, to... Silence. You fall, collapse onto me, into my blackness. You twitch and gurgle. Strange noises come from you. I try to scream, but shadows make no noise. Shadows only follow on. I listen, though, and footsteps disappear into the distance. The other shadow disappears with them. I try, but cannot move. Sirens, more shadows, mingling, noises, confusion, time passes. Still I lie, not feeling your weight, and shadows feel no weight. They bear the body easily without complaint. And time passes. I'm aware of movement around me. I was only supposed to be your shadow for a day, but my time was nearing its end. But now I am uncertain. Wait, there is movement. You are lifted off me, put in a bag, put on a trolley. You are lifeless, put in an ambulance. No, wait for me. This cannot be. How can I still be here? I'm supposed to go with you. I'm your shadow. Your drying blood betrays the shape of me, contains me. Help, I cannot move. Help. Wait, what is this now? Now, too late. Water is thrown down where you fell, where I lie still. A brush, more water. Slowly I am washed away, washed out of existence. A shadow no more. Nothing left of me. The day ends as I do. And this one, thank you. This one was written, a couple of years ago. I've done it a few times, not very often. I'm bringing it out again because I really liked it. And it is just coincidence that, as quite often with a lot of my work, first few lines, probably nothing to do with the rest of the poem, but the first few lines were actually, I said, given to me, spoken to me in a conversation with Kathy a couple of years ago. It's called Haunted by Love. And I suppose about friendship in a way. We write in hearts, not heads. There are no typos in hearts, in parts, in words, sublime, absurd. We understand what we mean to say, even though we can't say them all in just one day. And the heart won't release the words the way it releases our feelings. And my feelings, I think, are also in my mind, helpless and unkind, since that day I found you dead. The blood still dripping from your parched, severed head and splayed across the bloody sheets. And although the killer has been found and jailed for life, I still envision the murderous knife, steel and scarlet, it took your life, leaving me alone and lost, scarred and scared. For everywhere I turn, the image burned into my brain, from which I fear shall ever remain, is your ashen face, your grace emptied as your eyes of life. I opened the curtains and you were there. Your partial headless corpse causing me remorse that I should have been there. Behind every door in every room, where even sunshine doesn't cover the gloom, your life taken away too soon. You haunt me, taunt me, and tear my very soul, as if by doing this I could ever make you whole. On the TV, on my phone, on my iPad, every time I try to watch the news, a film, a show, I see your lifeless body all red and white and pallid grey, and even on Bake Off you appear within the cakes. Leave me alone for my sanity's sake. Most people, when they lose their loved ones, they recall memories of love and fun, sad but loving once they are gone. But me, oh me, what have I done? What have I done to deserve this fate? Your sudden demise was not my doing, yet still you make me feel as if it was. As if it was. In sleep you appear, restless in the very bed in which you bled, in which you lost your head, and your nerves and tendons hanging out. A grisly end without a doubt. I found you there when I came home, lying, bleeding, all alone. Your body from whence all life had gone. Not long. Too much I suffer, too much I grieve. I need this apparition to leave, making my life a living hell when all I did was love you well. I was there when you needed me, always there when you needed me. Now I need you to leave me be, now I need to sleep, forever to sleep, never more to dream, never more to hear your beckoning silent scream wherever I turn. This night, I will make my last. I need peace. So now I go to sleep, hopefully never to waken. Silence, silence. An eerie silence I see, sit up and see a bright, bright light. It's not day, it's not night. I peer, and in the distance you, as clean as one, whole and calm, still beckoning me with outstretched arms, saying words I cannot hear. Closer yet, not quite clear. At least you reach me. Close now, whispering in my ear, words cold and chilling. I always said I couldn't live without you. Now I cannot die without you. Thank you.
Spooky and ghostly and chilly and wonderful. Lovely. Thank you. Wow. Just chilling. Thank you so much. A wonderful storytelling, wonderfully performed. Is Ronald Bremner here? Lauren Ruddock.
Hello, I'm here.
Yay, thank you. Welcome.
It's been really good tonight. Or morning, whichever. I have no idea anymore. So I'm going to do a couple. The second one, I think quite a few of you have heard it if you've been anywhere where I've been in the last 2 weeks. So first one is, it's Disability Pride Month this month, and last month was Pride Month. So this first one's called Pride. Welcome. Whoever you are, it's safe to share your pronouns and identities. It can be loud, quiet, or however you want it to be. Rainbow flag, traditionally, but there's more to us than this. It's being ourselves in a safe space, sharing unashamedly our divergences and colours. Pink, purple, blue, showing off the bisexual beacon. Black, grey, white, purple, the spectrum of asexuality on show. Blue, white, pink, the trans flag stands strong. yellow, white, purple, black for the non-binary crew. Shout out to the queers, weird, and definitely right here. The colours across all our identities are bright, beautiful, divergent, and glitter in darkness and light. Inclusive of disability, pride is being you in your whole self. Even if it's only for a few hours, you are who you identify as. Throw that glitter, put that flag on, embrace your colours. Pride is a time to celebrate being you. And the second one is, well, it's based on a situation that I've kind of been going through. There's loads of context around it, but basically all you need to know is I have recently, I'm now ex-friends with a few people at work, because all I did was put some boundaries in place because they've kind of been treating me differently because I'm autistic. So I wrote about it. The poem's called This Is Me. See me as I am, whole, not broken, not a child, not missing pieces or a puzzle to be solved. I'm exactly what you see in front of you, human, adult autistic, survivor of my past, vulnerable. So much life and love left to give. I don't need you to protect me from things that might hurt me. I'm so tired of telling you that you don't need to be scared, of talking about things that you think might hurt me around me. Please just ask. Tell me. It doesn't scare me. I can cope with it. What hurts is when you assume I'm fragile, like a doll. It feels like you don't listen. You don't hear what I'm saying. When I've told you that I'm fine with things, I only want you to believe what I'm saying. I'm not accusing anyone. I just need to be heard, same as you. I'm autistic and an adult, unique. Once you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. We're all different, so please see me that way. Don't treat me like I'm 5. My needs are different. My strengths are too. I struggle with things where others might not. I don't always know what my face is doing. Meltdowns and overloads leave me exhausted. But I want you to see me as I am. I can't be someone else. I have to stay honest. The past few years have hurt me so much. Hard to let anyone in. I've had to learn how to trust all over again. Going behind my back, it hurts. It makes me think, should I have let anyone in? I've worked so hard to climb back up. If you could only see how all of this is killing me. I never want to see anyone hurt at all. I'm autistic, so I can't read a room, never mind tone. All forms of communication are thoroughly valid. Whether you like it or not, I couldn't be quiet. If I'd said nothing, I would have exploded. Or verbally articulated, things could have gone volcanic and really imploded. Don't pussyfoot around me. Don't lie or go behind my back. I'm not an ogre or a monster. Not a China doll or the best plates never touched. I'm a human that's whole, autistic, living with a past that used to haunt me constantly. I fought back from so much to never return to who I was, the girl afraid of all she found herself in. This is me, exactly who I am. Take me or leave me. Hear what I've got to say and take it in. In communication, there's been so much misunderstanding. I can't help the way I communicate. I try to adapt and bend and force myself to work the way you do. But I've hit the point where I have to say, stop. And though I'm supposedly the one that's inflexible and rude, I'm the one changing constantly but telling you straight. I hear you. But if we're going to stay pals, you've got to hear me too.
Woo, 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 woo. I'm unmuting for that one. I can't hear that enough.
Well done,
Lauren.
Lauren.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Brave.
You keep
It's
saying it.
wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. So brave. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Freya Pinney. Did I say that correctly? Freya? No?
Yeah, it's Freya.
Oh, good. Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay. I've never been to something like this before.
Welcome.
So thanks for Kate dragging me into it and putting my name up. I'm going to do a share screen. I just quickly during this have whipped something up. So hopefully this is going to work okay. Okay. That hopefully is that working for everyone? Okay, cool. I've just got a couple of very short things because I wasn't terribly prepared. So trust. I felt safe, open to my needs, kept me at the edge. Strong boundaries created a good container, conducive to what I was feeling in my body, experiencing with your body language, mirroring resonating sensations, honesty. Questions conveyed genuine curiosity. Hold me there with your words and gestures in service of me, energetically, respectful, share, guided, permission. I felt very safe, without hierarchy. Ask me what I need. Ask me questions. Notice small details, the type of language that I used. Notice small details, how I use my hands. Asking me about my somatic experiencing. Oh, great, I took myself backwards. Just gonna move. Okay. Side by side, holding space, time, taking breaths and pause, energetically listening and replying in concurrent flurries of excited oversharing, highlighting and adding references, evidence as support, sharing space in harmonious separateness, kindred spirits with breath on the verge of, on the edge of, at the heart of intensity, yet freedom to just be with acceptance as you are and of your needs. Listening to everything, hearing your patterns, returning in overshare, where words fill the spaces, utterance fills the air and connects us without structure. Come on. Too many words, filling space, seeking understanding, grounding myself, entering their channel, modifying, bounding, sharing, compelled to immerse and understand. Words are the vehicle and the journey is a good one. Driving along a path of the unknown, sharing this journey, inhabiting the journey, unraveling roads. It is loud in the silence, screaming in colours and breathing thoughts. So strong, so thoughtful, so overwhelmed, so tired, so on, so careful, so creative, so brave, always watching, listening, following, adjusting, self-monitoring, hyper-vigilant, not trusting and self-sacrificing, always in a state of becoming, never feeling like I'm living with a feeling of terror on the inside without any overt threat that was definable or communicable. I just put these up because it's literally, we've gone through dawn during this little gathering. And so the sun has literally come up and the mood has shifted so substantially. And it's gone from night and cold through the day. And this is sort of where I am. So I just wanted to give pictures of what, so beyond there's pictures of the sunrise. On the other side of that is the park. And these are my beautiful walkings and musings through the space and noticing the small details. And that's last night. And I just took photos of fire and it came out like a beautiful Viking boat.
I am so happy that you got here, Freya. I think it's fabulous that you've shared your art and your words with us. It's just
Thank you.
inspirational. Thank you so much for coming. I know you've not been to something like this before, is that right? So
Yeah, no, not at all.
You couldn't have found a better place to come with Amy. She's a wonderful host and a wonderful
Oh, brilliant.
space. So thank you.
Awesome. So I share the autistic experience in case it wasn't fairly inherent in the words. And I work with autistic people. I work as a neurodivergent affirming art therapist. And everybody I work with knows that I'm autistic. I'm very upfront in that space in Australia. So grappling with and looking in that space of relationships and what does it mean to have and to find your own types of relationships. And then what does it mean for people I'm working with? It's kind of what I was looking at this time. I'm shutting up now though.
Freya is amazing. Thank you. Amy, you.
Yes, thank you. I could identify with a lot of the struggle with relationship and intimacy in there. So I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you so much. Joy Johnson.
Yikes. Uh-oh.
Yikes.
My turn. Where's my list? What I can do with it? Is it, no, where did oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to start. You know, I had a whole other idea of what I was going to do, but you guys have inspired me to do something else. So this first one I just wrote yesterday. It's a Curdle sonnet, and it's an answer to Mark, who's I think is left, but anyway, he wrote something about overcoming angst. So here's my little tiny poem about a momentary reprieve from angst. It's called Sweaty Surprise. Amid the ungodly unrest of forests on fire, hotter than Hades summers, flash flood warnings and hail looming so large, I find my way to tragic Greek chorus and moan in my existential gutters. I know sorrow profound with my whole heart. But yesterday, I woke to a red cat, lounging smartly against my sweaty arm. Jackson regarded me and I, wonders, had forgot for a moment all my angst. New peace. Okay, what do I have on my list next? So this one is called Freedom. Oh, it's over here in this application. Freedom and Fate. This one, I don't know, we got a lot of political characters coming out of the woods over here because we got a presidential election next year. So this, I just really felt moved to read this to you guys today. It's, well, anyway, that's enough said. Freedom and Fate. When we harnessed electricity, we were made artists, given more freedom than the holy trinity of the three dimensions ever afforded. Sudden, the free electrons, which require less deterministic equations, liberated us from realistic Newton, and we claimed a future probabilistic. But the mystics argue now all is ideation, as such an ague of individual inability to turn all thought to love, the new religious gimmickry, gratis quantum mechanics misapprehending. Believe me, in the world we do inhabit, variously colored in substance, Newton holds sway. Invariably, even NASA uses MGH more than MC squared. Electricity holds us upright. Gravity keeps us fastened to the divine, our mother, the earth, whose orbit barely heeds a word of Einstein. And this I say from my heart. It's not all your fault. Fate may come with punishing import, regardless of the quality of your contemplation. And one more, can I do one more? This, I want to read this because it's a sestina. I've written a few and Kate read one. This is the first sestina I wrote. I don't think I've ever gotten one to be quite as good as this one. So would you humor me? This is an old one, probably pushing 20 years old, okay? So it's called What's Unattained. To think big, love big, to be in body big, to discover what it is to really want, although there is no approved of appetite, to be a woman, accept a cold defeat. Then you lose your soul to some other's desire and be condemned to hell for it. You cannot understand me, admit it. Do not say one thing about me is too big, when my whole life I've lived in want. Now my clothes fit a little tight, but I do feel myself standing in my feet. I live not to feed, but to uncover my desire. All you outside world cannot forbid this ire. You cannot convince me how a soul's to fit into a body so minuscule when soul's so big. Of many, there is one thing that I want, to know that to this soul I am tied. To think big, I will not accept defeat. But the honesty required for such a feat burns a hole deep enough to handle desire. A space that large, other needs fall into it. This a symptom of real healing, to get big. All your petty disdain does no how warrant your supposed wisdom to curb my appetite. Look, what know you of moon or monthly tide? Do you propose the feminine, a symbol that's effete? Every one of us has a space profound inside her. To be honest, there's nothing here to fill it. It might seem small or excavated really big, male or female, for labeling the lack won't even in itself satisfy the ancient want, though the male seems better able to ignore it. I look around or in another or to another with my desire, but truth is I can only stand on my 2 feet, needing other than mate or job or thing, something big, and biggest of all, I fear my own appetite, that I will never find what I rush to on the tide. I will always be too big to get into my feet, and I will ever want, but stumble in naming my desire. Thank you.
Wow. I love your rawness, but then you're crafting it all over it at the same time. Just wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I love your old one as well. Thank you for bringing those forward. And now Eike Waltz.
Inspired by Franz Schubert's Nocturne in E flat major and a son's love he had lost. Nocturne. Walking, and I am walking. I am not walking with you. Talking, and I am talking. I am not talking to you. Eyes, and your eyes, these eyes that look at me. Hands, and your hands, hands forever, caring for me. I pray and I speak that I forgot to say. I love you so. Where did I go? Where did we go? Where did life go so wrong for you? What have I done? What have you done? What have we done to end us two? One by one, we are now considered none. Yes, I cry. I love you so. I love you. I love. I do. I am in love with you. And I walk and I talk and I recall there is something that always reminds me how much I remember you. It is late. It is time. Darkness fell. It is night. I should have listened. I should have. I should have imagined the secrets of you. I should have. On my lonely grave, I pray, hello you. Yellow too is the forgiving rose. Tears I bedded, yes, I did propose. Flowers divided into equal pairs. You whisper in my ear a moment so intimate, nobody else to hear. It is late, it is time, it is dark. I am lost at night, just lost in time. Above all, please rescue me, reminding that I love you too. I love you, I said. I get it, you said. I close my eyes and see the moon, a forgiven kiss, so cold, yet long overdue. Death begs a good night. I send red roses from me forever to you. I lit a candle with my last breath. I talked to ghosts lurking at the bottom of my bed, pointing the finger at me and laugh. Hee 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 hee. You are long, long dead, don't you see? Now that I was buried into the rudimentary of words, and sandstone reached my voice so easily done. I moved from a yesterday into the naked cruelty of my definition. You call the nocturne after a lonely day. My son, blaming Godot on his mind, yet begging can't help but to ask for more precious time. Thank you.
Thank you. That was mesmerizing. What a love story. And dark. It was awesome. Thank you. And now Gregory Lannam.
Thought you probably forgot about me, Amy. Thank you.
No, you're there. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Here's I pulled a couple out of the vaults here, and this first I've got two, and this first poem, Amy and Greg and anybody else who is pertinent to, this is a poem about Nashville. Downtown. It's not technically monochrome, but Nashville in its hot chicken riddled innards seems to swim in one dull color when you squint, ignoring the murals and the multicolor millennials and bachelorettes on their bacchanals. A gifted and blessed, but also compromised and underachieving city, an abrogated homeschooled child of concrete and marble who gets gray headaches when it thinks, that matches the hue of the disappeared minds of those who can afford to live in a downtown, who haunt the gyms and the country clubs, and will walk miles playing golfing for good old boys, but must ride the electric scooters like they're lame. This gunmetal cast could just be a lingering winter of malcontent, a heavy sigh in a midsummer spent daydreaming, tired after spending a long, long marathon of all their right thinking that gets us down. It seemed like a year in which Nashville would be an island of hope, floating in a lagoon of craft beer breweries, surrounded by a red sea of fascist people who have been parted from their judgment. But this cold steel and stone engine which we have poured our fuel into, despite peddling in the streets and peddling hope down alleys and rows, causes my conscience to doubt. But beneath the gray ribs of surrounding interstates, there is a heart with that deepest red. It gives like a river of still waters, keeps going like any fluid downhill, and despite the high cost, wears down our banks. Summertime hides the colder skin of us. The city seems higher in the humid air, but you can touch a tower and feel the frigid stone. Meanwhile, down in its long shadows, there are breezy sighs and darkness like winter. It's maybe the lingering chill of loneliness that causes the city to write songs about alcoholism, unfaithfulness, white power, and two large pickup trucks as two small penile replacements, as if the buildings looking down on the surrounding chaos make it regret rising up into the blue in such a red state. And speaking of Middle Tennessee, we have had inclement weather basically all effing week. And here's what I pulled out of the vaults as well that's pertinent. Thunderstorm. It begins with listening to the silence, the proverbial calm. I've been checking my smartphone, watching the stop motion Technicolor stains creep like angry amoebas west to east. Now is the time to unplug and go outside and see for myself the high hues of blueberries and bruises instead of the graphic display of crimsons and scarlets. The driveway begins being anointed, cheetah spots appearing, as despite the forecast's severe warnings, I listen to the thunder and smile. Such is my rainy day attitude that the lightning and its report are like trumpets flourishing before a show. The anger I saw virtually before appears. Trees bend, wind screams, drums a mile high. All things are leached of color, seen through the gauzy sheets of rain. I pensively wait, maybe even pray, for the promised white in the west I saw before on the radar screen to paint the hues back into the world. As soon as it appeared, it terminates. There is a silence again. Everything glistens in the afternoon dew, greener and brighter than before. I have never invested in galoshes, so I'm not out there in the grass, a child in puddles, careless so soon after the danger. When the multicolor promise appears in the spent firmament, I go back inside, still smiling, energized as if I'd been plugged in. And that's me, Amy. Thank you.
Well done. And you're such a painter with words as well as with literal paint. You did such a wonderful job.
That's weird how we do that sometimes, Amy, painting both ways. Thank you for that very much.
Oh, you're welcome. The colors, the imagery, everything. Very well done. Thank you. Now, would Greg Slade, can I say it? Greg Slade like to read? I see you there. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, cool.
Got two kind of shortish ones. This is called Fresh Meat. When the reason given for us all taking the pain is that others have done it and will do it again, it displays the limits of the greatest ape's brains, made to obey a truth on which they themselves haven't been trained, told not to reach for that golden banana, made to sit and wait for the dole of the manna, kept in line by the tribe of those holding the hammer, trained to praise the ways of only the planner, until no ape could replicate the climbing of the ladder. The way had escaped the higher minds in the tribal chatter. What though are the chances that this babble even matters? What lesson could we learn from a mind immune to certain factors? What value could there be in a tale of a tribe of rational actors who learn to be deprived and be divided into factions, to stay the stem of their rising high, crumbling up their upward traction, to tear the towers down to the earth and say it is better to live down in the dirt, for that's the way it's always been done. We and the dirt and the suffering are one. Dirt, though, never dreams of the sun, and only a trained ape knows not to reach for the heights. Collective constriction is therefore quite a continual fight. Every newcomer must be knocked down from the ladder where the golden banana just sits, surveying all the blabber of how long we'll be waiting for the return of the holy grabber. That's fresh meat. And then this one's called The Road to Hell. It would be quite easy to contend that as the bad spirit first arose in the minds of recorded men, that it may have served a different purpose than it has come to these days intend. It would seem to me easily seen as a form of some sweet relief, a thing to blame when the brotherhood was breached, a way to forgive the badness crafted into action by our thoughts or speech, a way to see the actor not as an evil that speaks, but as being overcome by some other surreptitious deceit, known for the ways it can bend with ease what we see, wiggling out of the accounts that any piousness might breed, undoing the humans who want to be decent and believe. The bad spirit is what plies the mind that we might blame instead the beast, that we might keep the tribe aligned by forgiving, being featured before each feast. Not to condemn our fellow men for the ways goodwill grows weak, but to give the ghost of our troubles a name in service of the turning of the cheek. A way to say the evil we see is not because we are evil things. That is the good in the gospel of the serpent with wings. The point in pointing to the spiritual strings, to release each other of our dirtiest deeds, to focus instead on how the good spirit leads, knowing not, won't you forgive them, please? Perhaps the thread has been lost in the weeds. Perhaps we shouldn't burn every bit of humankind we find unfit. Perhaps we are not best to fear what the devil whispered in that woman's ear, nor what that man was made to do. Have we made too much of these enemies of truth, using our own tongues to move and further the very cause of their use? The breaking of bread bred into the breaking of faith, until forgiveness and grace are framed as the fakes. The worst way the bad spirit could break, pointing the finger and giving it names, finding a way to paint it a face, no longer a thing to be forgiven, having given to the devil so much skin in the game, no longer letting the spirits remain, drawing them down to our own domain to eat them and burn them again and again, not stopping to pray or to forgive all of our fallen friends, giving no grace to our own lack of spiritual defense, the original target of the bad spirit's intent, to make us blameless, not to make us condemned. The road to hell.
Thank you. Your rhythm and your rhyme, just in your presentation, so well crafted. And I love
Thank
your
you.
philosophic journey that you're kind of leading us all through. It's really wonderful.
I really appreciate the opportunity to share. Thank you all.
Thank you for being here. Would anyone else like to read?
If you've got time for me, yeah.
Sure, Lennart. That'd be awesome.
Okay, a couple of things for you then. Old woman with photograph. My husband was fighting in Italy. I have a photograph of him marching, taken on the road from the beach. I hadn't seen him for 6 months and didn't see him for another 7. You were in London on a weekend pass. I have a photograph, us dancing, taken when my friends and I stepped out. I'd never seen you before that evening, and I never saw you after that. I know the rest of my husband's story. I have boxes of photographs, us laughing, holidays with the children, their weddings. He passed a week before turning 80, and my love for him is still as strong. But of you, my handsome young Yankee pilot, I only have that one photograph, us laughing. A corner of my faithful heart is still yours. No danger to my husband or our children, and I think I'd rather that were all I know. One day soon, perhaps, or later, I will sit at the edge of the mountain and make music and write a song and paint the rising crag and gather words into a poem. You will be with me, and you will wonder at their order, and you will climb despite your fears, and you will sing a delicate echo, and you will dance in perfect time. I will see you there, in the shadow of the jumbled stone from a distant vantage, from memories you leave in the warm hold of my heart, so that if I am alone, I still will not be lonely. And finally, elegy. Dig the small grave and place their smaller bodies so, just so. The chill May rain and the warm human tears falling on her head will serve for the ritual washing of this pup, barely 2 days old. Some future digger after truth, alien or human, kneeling with trowel and brush at this grave, will note in clear, careful script the wonder that a people could be so deliberate with the smallest of their God's creations and so careless of themselves. Thank you all.
Thank you. That first poem was so tender and so evocative. The photograph, I could see it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Anyone else like to read? Okay, I know we're kind of running late, so I'll just read one that's positive. Okay, I wrote it last month. It's called Summer Goddess. Heart of flame, city the color of ash, your eyes blind as sea glass, not giving over their secrets. Every sad song sings your name. I dreamed about a dog chasing a train, fear and letting go, ghosts in my mind, heart. Throw their gelatinous black and white film faces into the magic lake. Let them become one with the fish. It never works out that way, etched as you are inside. Encyclopedias in our hands. We burn together, slow walking the heat, speed through bites of strawberry popsicles. I feel colorful, painting hands with rainbows, with water from the garden hose up to the sky. Water lacks taste, but has weight, mass flowing down your throat, cools you down, a myriad of sweet summer beings to delight us. Visit daylilies every day, pluck off yesterday's blooms, touch the new ones. Dizzy in the heat, we chill in the shade. Colors of the imagination appear in the forms of flowers, oasis. Wisdom in the mandalas of the sun, seasons, mirrors to us all, although we fear to look at ourselves. Ruinous horizons of war, thieves of life, hands for your hands, holding a smaller hand, flour, knife, gun, pastry dough, biscuits, coffee beans. The smallest bee with wild, sweet eyes keeps circling under the paper butterfly lantern, swinging with the sway of the oscillating sand. Storms and sunshine all day Juneteenth, lightning zings, sizzles, thunder rumbles, rain heavy and light, sweet sun returns and raindrops glow on each bloom, leaf, blade of grass, even the concrete, asphalt, everything is washed for a time. The mountains we have to climb, he says, eyes on the prize, it still rings true, a holy bell. Mycelium send messages in an underground network, supporting each other. What messages do we send? Black grapes glow in my hand with abundance, potential, 3 peaches in an old bowl, waffles with bits of ripe cherry, planting more seeds on July 1st before the fireworks, okra, cucumber, watermelon. We mark summer days with each twist of fruit off a stem, clip of flower, herb, vegetable, abundance. It's always been here. How do we relate? Early agriculture thousands of years hence, always alongside the meat eaters. Why not grow tomatoes, basil, medicinal herbs for soothing tea, poultices for wounds? The ground receives the goodness you give into it, its earthy goodness. Summer goddess in your hands.
Wow.
Oh.
Unmute and give Amy a round. I love that, Amy. Thank you.
Yes. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, fellow poets.
Yes,
Thank
Kate.
you, everyone, being here.
Brilliant night. Really, really
Beautiful
enjoyed it.
night. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Just awesome. Really
You get
appreciate you
extra
guys.
stars for staying to the end.
I will be passing them out after that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And here they are, look. Who's got
Aw.
sticky?
Please.
You ought to see my office. Anyway, it's been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Okay, thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Just wonderful.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Kate. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye, Finn. Bye.
Lovely.
Good to see
Lovely to
everybody.
see you all.
So good to see everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome,
Thank
Christine.
you.